The intrinsic object may be interesting, although in this condition some people would just see this as a wreck. Still, it has that evidence. It's all about the story that is behind the object.
Something we're working on today, this is the new bottom for Edna Lockwood, which is the boat over on the Hard right there. It's the last sailing bug eye in the world. Normal boat building is like taking a bunch of small pieces and making something bigger. And with this, you're just straight up making those joints and putting them together, then carving out whatever kind of boat you want, that's awesome. It's no different than getting a face out of a piece of marble, you know, it's all reduction. Dugout canoes are all over the world, but like specific to this area, Native American people, indigenous people were doing dugout canoes, sort of get around. Everything was all the villages were pretty much on the water. Everyone kind of lived around the water because back then you could just like wade out and get oysters and crabs and fish really easily. When the Europeans came, they adopted that technique. So as they used all the big trees and started having smaller ones, and they wanted to sail the boats as opposed to paddle the boats, they started taking multiple trees and pinning them together with wood dowels and butterflies and stuff. And so you make a bigger boat, but doing the same technique of carving out multiple logs put together. With a boat like this from 1889, that was designed for fishing. You can tell a lot of history of the bay through it. Prominent families, boat building techniques, fisheries. We do a lot of training for people. We have apprentices here, and so the actual techniques of building this way gets preserved. So the boat's important, but all those like peripheral things I think are just as important that the boat sort of enables to happen.
Through the Apprentice for a Day program, it's designed for, say, the novice, and it's designed for somebody that maybe can't dedicate time to go through boat school or didn't grow up doing any of that stuff, you know. It's a chance for them to get their hands dirty.
And this is the boat that they're building now, which is sort of a shrunken drake tail. It's a copy of a boat we have in our collection that's 42 feet long. If you look at the stern, that's why it's called a drake tail or a dovetail. It's that stern that's built in a certain area in the Chesapeake down like Hooper's Island. For us, we're open to the public, and you know, maybe that spawns like someone either going into this trade to preserve the techniques, or hey, you know, the bay is really important, maybe I won't throw a bunch of shit in it. You know, just from that, just because in some way they've become connected to it, whether it's through this process or the boat itself, or just coming down to visit and seeing the water, or realizing that people do make a living from it. I think if you can connect people anyway, however way it is, it's gonna have a positive impact.